Hey, I'm Bill Marion. This is A Nose for Life, and I'm still trying to get my office finished so I can shoot these videos from my office. So I'm having to shoot these videos while I'm walking or sitting here next to my front door with the Christmas tree. And speaking of Christmas trees, we have a big debate in our family right now as to whether or not our Christmas tree is tacky. Big old fat 1970s lights. What do you think? Weigh in on the comments. Do you think our tree is tacky? It's okay. I've checked my feelings at the door. It has been the craziest week in the world. First of all, we posted a video a couple of days ago about the new fake news. And here's the crazy thing. It actually got demonetized for about 24 hours. I completely flipped out. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm talking about censorship and you're demonetizing my video. Are you crazy? But YouTube was cool. After 24 hours, thank you, YouTube. Shout out to YouTube. You put the video back on. Thank you so much. It's remonetized. Turns out the video was fine. I didn't say anything too crazy. It's gonna be okay. See, we can all get along. We can work it out. Again, I can't afford the copyrights to the song We Can Work It Out, but if I could, I would play it right now. Thank you, YouTube, and whoever Andy is, because Andy approved the video. Of course, in the meantime, I probably lost a little bit of money on that video, but that's okay, because we're here now, and it's a new day. It's a new day. But I'm thankful for everybody who watched the video, and if you haven't got a chance to watch it and you're watching this one, right after you watch this video, you need to go back and watch that video. It's called The New Fake News. But I want to start out today's video by talking about you and the people who comment. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. It's so important. And we had Thomas Fuson today who actually commented on a video. It's one of our first videos that we made called The Hidden Bridge. And The Hidden Bridge, if you haven't seen it, I'll put a link here, either here somewhere on the screen or in the description below. You need to watch it. It's one of my first videos. We've grown a lot since then. I think we had 3 subscribers and 2 of them were probably family members. But anyway, it was one of my first videos, and I noticed this tree in the woods, and it had this huge, it was deformed. It had a huge knot in it. And I asked anyone to comment to tell me what this knot or big doohickey was on this tree. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, again, go back and watch the video. And if you have some information, you could still pipe in. I'd love to know what this thing is. But Thomas has the solution, we think, and we need your input to figure it out. Here's what Thomas has to say.
Isn't the growth on the tree where it was damaged and repaired itself?
That's as good as answer as any. I mean, honestly, I don't know what it is. It might be one of those situations where a barbed wire fence, at one time it leaned against a barbed wire fence and then it grew over the barbed wire fence. I have no idea. I'm making this up. I have no idea. Not to mention the fact that this tree is just crazy looking. It looks like a pregnant tree, and that doesn't even sound right either. Matter of fact, I can't think of any nice way to describe what's on this tree. But Thomas, you're probably right. I'd say that's exactly what it is. I'm going with your answer. I mean, after all, this ain't SciShow. I'm just kidding. I love you, Vlog Brothers. I love you. Nothing but love for you. The next comment is from Tennessee Thomas. Yes, that's right, another Thomas, but this one's from Tennessee. The last one was from Kentucky. Tennessee Thomas joined us right around the forest fire time period that we had here in southeastern Tennessee. Tennessee Thomas had a pretty awesome comment about a video that I posted called Trump Wins, so now what? And that's a good video. I've got a link somewhere in here or in the description if you want to go back and check that one out. But here's what he had to say.
I couldn't agree more, Bill. Despite some of his off-putting statements, I still lean toward the Donald over Hillary. The only thing I'm seriously concerned about his term as president is seeing disinterest in EPA and true understanding of our environmental needs.
You know, I think if one is inclined to be an environmentalist, whether he or she believes in global warming, whether it's man-made, climate change, whatever flavor we're putting on it right now, I don't think Donald Trump's your enemy. I said it. I said it. I think it's possible that Donald Trump ends up passing more environmental legislation than anything. You watch and see. I know that sounds crazy, but Richard Nixon, of all people, Richard Nixon is the one that started, he's the president that started the EPA. Sometimes it's the least likely person that comes up with legislation that you're like going, you came up with that? And some people think that may have been Richard Nixon's greatest accomplishment. May have been. And RLNO had this to say on the last video that I posted about the new fake news. I think we have a continuity issue.
Writes, the mainstream media fake news really took off after those operations started 24-hour newscast. When they had nothing left to say, they still had to say something or rehash what was said an hour ago. The something became increasingly sensationalistic and self-serving as these operations felt the pressure of competition for 24-hour viewership.
Yeah, sure. I think competition plays into it, but I don't think it's just competition with each other now. I think it was in the 90s. I think you're definitely right in the 90s. I think when Fox came on board and started competing with CNN head-to-head, MSNBC jumped in there. I mean, so you had all these corporations, try to persuade the American people about issues related to their business. I mean, that's what corporate media is. That's what corporate news is. It's a well-produced, well-oiled machine that produces propaganda for a particular corporation or the government. I think what's really making a difference right now is the fact that they have competition. They're not the only people in the game. There's other people in the game right now. And for all the things that are being said about what they call alternate news, what's being overlooked is that how many liberal alternate news sources there are out there, and there's quite a few. I mean, there's all kinds of socialist websites and socialist news propaganda machines out there. It's just that not a lot of people watch them. Well, if you're a socialist, I don't mean a personal socialist, unless you're RT. Now, RT doesn't come off as socialist unless you're really paying attention. If you're really paying attention, they have a whole lot to say about big banks, and they have a whole lot to say about the cruelty of capitalism. So I'm going to spend the rest of my day working on my office so I don't have to do comments behind the door. But this YouTube channel is for you. Every time you comment, every time you hit that like button, it is so important. So I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. I'm so appreciative of any comments that are made on the channel. By the way, a shout out to Alita, my cousin. Thank you, Alita, for pointing out the fact that I misspelled ad. That was embarrassing. And the office is almost done. I want to thank Anna, Nathan, and Crystal, and of course my beautiful wife Carolyn for helping me get the office ready. We still have some echo going on up in here, but we're going to sound perfect soon. Thank you for watching this video. Please hit that like button and subscribe, and always share. I'm Bill Marion, and this is A Nose for Life.